Let's get into the Christmas spirit together. I'm going to be sharing details of our St. Lucie Day celebration, baking and spray painting pine cones, how I make lots of wreaths really quickly, decorating my girls' room for the season, an ongoing declutter project, looking ahead to the 12 days of Christmas, and my favorite holiday drink for festivity and hydration. But first, I want to share with you what has become my go-to everyday outfit for this season. I have been loving this flannel plaid shirt that I recently thrifted. It's from LL Bean and it is so soft, and I have been pairing it with this lacy pencil skirt from Ann Taylor and just rolling up the sleeves and putting on this emerald bracelet that I have, and it's just with my boots and some gray pattern tights. I've been wearing this all the time for teaching and just every day. And then I decided to kind of dress it up. We had a Christmas pageant to go to, and I wanted to see what it would be like if I put my sparkly shirt on underneath, just to add a little bit of sparkle. This is a corduroy blazer that I recently acquired too. So I was just playing with a lot of layering for this Christmas pageant, or seeing what my hair looked like up or down. And I'm not much of a blazer person, but I just wanted to try it out just for that one evening with a scarf. So it was fun to dress this outfit up a little bit. I ended up wearing my hair down, but I tried it up as well. I like the sparkly earrings and just a little sparkle peeking out from underneath my shirt. I collected some pine cones from a huge pine tree in the yard of our church, and also some magnolia buds. I baked them in the oven for about an hour at 250 degrees, and the pine cones bloomed. And then I spray painted everything bright gold. It ended up looking kind of rustic on the magnolia blooms, and then of course the pine cones got really shiny. I tucked some of them into my front door swags, which I really had a lot of fun putting together. And then I also just tucked some on the mantelpieces around the house to add some extra shine and glitter for the holidays. I've got a wreath making station right by our front door, and I love to go and gather boxwood, mostly because we have so much of it, and I can put a wreath together in just a few minutes, which is great because I like to put them all over the house. Today my girls and I sat together after school and we put together a few for their room. My girls really like to decorate their room for Christmas, and we like to put wreaths on the mirrors. And yes, last year we decorated their mantelpiece with a lot of boxwood too. So we put together 3 wreaths for their room using some boxwood, just plain boxwood. Sometimes I mix in other greens, but I actually think that just a plain boxwood wreath looks really great. I love the shiny leaves and kind of how small they are. Just to get the floral wire wrapped around the wreath frame, and then start sticking pieces of boxwood in randomly, and then wrapping the floral wire up and over the boxwood sprigs as we go. And that way some of it can escape out the side and some of it can lay really tight. So I really only end up using one piece of floral wire continuous that I just wrap around and around and around, and then I cut it off at the end of the wreath and attach that securely to the wreath form. And then at the end of the season, when I take everything down, I can take the boxwood out, and the floral wire almost always stays intact. And sometimes I even just leave it on the wreath form for next time. Sometimes I take it off and I store it. But either way, you can reuse floral wire year after year. And this year I didn't even have to buy any floral wire because I've been collecting it for a couple years now, and it does last forever. It is a wire, so it makes Christmas decorating easier. The more things that you have on hand from the year before, it just kind of all builds on itself. That is what I have discovered. So this one I decided to leave it wild and free instead of tailoring it and tucking it in really tight. It just kind of depends on how I'm feeling. The wreath wants to go, but this year it just felt like it wanted to be a little wild and free. I got these snow-covered berries at the Dollar Tree, and we decided to tuck these into the wreath this year. I've never tucked red berries into my wreaths before, but I really am loving how it looks, and now I've got quite the collection because I pretty much cleaned out our Dollar Tree of their large red berries with the snow on them. I have some small plain red berries too, but these ones with the snow are really capturing my fancy this year. I just love how they look with the greens, just adding that white as well as red to have 3 colors. It's very Christmassy, it's very rustic and old worldy feeling, so we also were working on some St. Lucie Day preparation. My youngest daughter is going to lead St. Lucie's Way with one single candle. These are just some battery-powered candles from Dollar Tree I've had for a long time. We tied some ribbon and berries and greens to it so that she can carry it in front of her big sister, who is going to be St. Lucie. I started making wreaths for our doors. I used these command hooks hung upside down, and I just hang a ribbon. I'm going to make a matching one for the other side. I have these ribbons from Dollar Tree that from last year. They're really beautiful. I love them, and they're even cut to the right lengths for all of my armoires because I used them last year. These are ribbons too that I used last year to hang these on the mirrors in my daughter's room, and so it just made it so much easier to have the ribbon lengths already cut, and I'm so glad I saved them from last year, and it made hanging these a real breeze because they were the right height already without too much fussing. I really like how they turned out in here. It's a very Scandi look, I feel like, for some reason. It's just something about the homespunness of the way the ribbons are. They're like this woven cotton. Then my little girls and I got to work making some gingerbread cookies to give to the rest of the family on St. Lucie Day morning. I just used a recipe I found online that did not call for molasses because I didn't have any on hand. And so it was a really easy dough to mix up. It's quite a lot stiffer than regular sugar dough, which takes some getting used to. My husband actually helped us roll it out because I just did not have the muscle strength. But we had a great time pressing these. We used stars and gingerbread men and snowflakes, and hearts. Just tried to keep to a limited selection, just to save some of the other Christmas forms for later when we make Christmas cookies. But for St. Lucie Day, it's like a festival of light, so I wanted to emphasize the stars for light and snowflakes and hearts. Love dressing up and waking up the family with cookies and hot chocolate for St. Lucie Day. So that's been a really fun tradition that we've been able to start the past few years as my girls have gotten older. They also, of course, one of their favorite things to do is to cut out cookies and, of course, decorate them. We just kept the decoration really simple with some sprinkles in different colors. I love cookies decorated by children. They are the absolute most charming and best kind. It's very hard to control. For some reason, the sprinkles I have, they come out really fast. So these cookies ended up having lots and lots of sprinkles on them. And here they are waiting for the next morning. So we can just get up, roll out of bed, and serve everyone some cookies and hot chocolate on a tray. We bring up a small tray that the girls can handle, and then I help them by bringing up everything else afterwards because it's just too much for one tray. But it makes such a dramatic sight. It's dark, and then she shows up in my boys' room with this lighted wreath on her head and wakes them up and says, "Here, have some cookies." I've been reading this book, 12 Tide. It is about celebrating all 12 days of Christmas. It's got selections of poems and literature and ideas for celebrating each of the 12 days. And I'm getting really inspired. I really want to celebrate the full 12 days of Christmas this year with some special activities. I've been thinking about this for many years, and I just happened upon this book, and it was like exactly what I was looking for as far as inspiration and ideas. So I'm going to try to do some of these things, or we're going to try to do some of these things this year as a family instead of just having the post-Christmas blahs and letdown. I really want to keep it going for the 12 days and sort of just gently glide into January instead of having one overwhelming Christmas day with lots going on and then nothing going on afterwards. Okay, so speaking of nothing going on, this is a neglected room in our house where I have just been storing things very disorganizedly, and as part of my Advent, I am really trying to organize this room and use it better for storage. And also we are reorganizing our books. Oh, after all that work, I wanted to share with you my favorite drink for this time of year. It's seltzer water with a little splash of Palm Wonderful. It's really fun, I think, to have a festive drink that keeps you hydrated. And I drink this all through the winter season, Advent season, and definitely Christmas. It's really relaxing and kind of festive and sparkly. It's fun to serve at parties as a non-alcoholic drink, but I just drink it as I go about my day. Usually I'll drink regular water, but for this special time of year, this is my special drink. Thanks so much for coming along with me for more of my Advent preparation. I hope that you enjoyed this video. I'd love to hear in the comments how you're preparing for Christmas, and if you've done any decluttering projects, do you have a special drink? Let me know in the comments down below, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.